Should be live. Am I not live? I am live. Okay, so for some reason, yesterday's stream did not stream on YouTube as it normally does. It only streamed on Twitch. So I'm gonna have to basically download the video from Twitch and upload it on YouTube. I have no idea why it did not. Like, I'm actually so fucking annoyed about it. But I'm gonna upload it, so don't worry about it. That being said, today I'm gonna... Well, I said I was gonna continue the Pick Me Wife, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Like, I might not, actually. Let me correct that title. I might not. I want to only watch one video today. Let me just... True crime... Okay, wait. Rotten mango reaction to psycho little girls. There you go. See, now that's better. That's better because yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna be watching the other videos. So there you go. All right. That's now that that's done. Hi, Cat. I watch... What did we watch yesterday? Oh yeah, the Google murderer. That's 2 days in a row. I haven't streamed 2 days in a row in so long. I've been so tired and busy lately. Yo, tu fais quoi? Yeah, c'est ça. Alright, anyway, without further ado, let's start this new crime.
Bada bing, bada boo.
There's usually a few places that require automatic introspection. Like if you are a completely able-bodied person, you use the accessible bathroom stall and you walk out and you see that you clearly did not need to use that stall. You could have just waited for a different one and someone else was waiting for that one. If you ever do that, I mean, don't do that. But if you do, that is a moment that would require deep self-reflection as you awkwardly wash your hands in shame. It's almost automatic, I would hope. Another one of those places is sitting in the back of a police car with your hands behind your back. Clearly, you're not getting a free ride. This is far less comfortable than the worst Uber ride that you've ever been on. And Isabel, she looks freaking uncomfortable. Isabel is sitting there and she's sitting up with her back is straight up against the back seat of this police car. She's not even sitting up straight because she wants to be on her best behavior, which would be smart. But Isabel, you're gonna soon find out she's not that smart. But because her wrists are handcuffed behind her back, she can't even slouch if she wants to. She's wearing this white t-shirt, she's got very curly hair, and she almost has this very young baby face. And she looks bored. She's sitting on the left side of the back of the cop car. The back door to the right side opens. And she just casually looks over. She's not on high alert. She's not anxious. She's not looking around frantically. And she just leans her head to the side. Excuse me? Are we going to the same one?
Excuse me? Are we gonna be in the same one?
We don't really see him, but you can assume it's a police officer. And he's clarifying. What do you mean same one? Same jail? Yeah, you are.
What do you mean, same one?
Same jail?
Another girl starts sitting in the back seat of the same police car, and she's got bright red hair. She's wearing a tiny little tank top, and she also has her hands handcuffed behind her back. And both of them instantly, the minute that the red-haired girl, her butt touches the bottom of the seat, they look at each other and they start giggling. They're like, yeah, and they just start cackling. They're looking at each other like, we're about to be in the same jail. 15-year-old Isabel Valdez and 14-year-old Lois Lippert are sitting next to each other in the back of this police car. And for the next 30 minutes, I mean, I don't know how they're going to come back from the next 30 minutes. This is immediately after both of them are arrested on their high school campus, Lake Brantley High School in Florida, where they were planning to kill a classmate in one of the school bathrooms. Lois says, dude, they pulled the security cameras and stuff, and they got to see us walking out. I know, they saw.
Dude, they put up the security cameras and stuff, and I gotta see us walking out.
Saw.
Yeah.
Mind you, the police are in the front driving, so they're not alone in the backseat of the police car, which even then, they should know that they're being recorded. Lois is like, yeah, that was the first time I actually seen, like, I wanted to see more. I was like, whoa, look, I'm on the cameras there. It was so cool. I was like, damn, I forgot that there's just like videos like that.
That was the first time I've ever seen it. I wanted to see so much more. I was like, whoa, look, I'm on the cameras there. It was so cool. I was like, damn. I forget that there's just like videos.
Yeah.
Later, Lois, the red-haired girl, looks at Isabel, and she has this moment and this look in her eyes, and she goes, this is such a bonding experience. I love it.
This is such a bonding experience. I love this.
This is, I mean, it's like back to back, all
Did
30
they murder
minutes. We're going to go through
somebody?
all 30 minutes, but it gets really intense. At
'Cause
one
I'm
point,
confused.
Lois is trying to get a glimpse of her reflection, and she's trying to see what she looks like right now. Isabel glances over.
Were you trying to look good for your mugshot?
Oh shit, am I gonna get a mugshot?
Girl,
we're
yes,
going
if
to
you
jail,
killed
wouldn't we?
somebody.
That's crazy.
Dude, I was gonna do my makeup this morning for the mugshot, but I couldn't find anything.
I'm glad I don't actually look too bad today.
Isabel rests her head on the back of the little headrest in the back seat,
What
and
are
she's
we
complaining.
doing?
I look horrible. It's over.
And don't worry, you don't need to, don't worry, you're the butch. It doesn't matter if you look bad.
Hey, at least they were gonna see me some way or another in the mugshot.
And later, Lois brings up,
You think I'll be
Okay.
able to fix my hair? Or you think I'll be in prison handcuffs for this?
Yeah,
one?
still handcuffs.
Really? But don't you gotta put up like that number thing?
I think that's only it shows. So stupid.
and they talk about how they're so glad that at least red-haired girl Lois, her hair looks good and she dyed it before this incident. And at some point, Isabel and Lois, they start talking about how they're going to get out of jail sooner than later because, quote, not a school shooting at least. Yeah, we'd be in prison for life. Yeah.
Not a school shooting, at least.
What did we do?
We'd be in prison for life.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of this was not that they were going to shoot up their school. No, the whole point was they were going to kill their classmate to bring a school shooter back from the dead.
2 teens arrested after an alleged plan to kill their classmate.
This is the case of 15-year-old Isabel Valdez and 14-year-old Lois Lippert.
To bring back a school what are we doing? What do you mean bring back? Like, bitch, is you like a fucking necromancer? Like, what up? Bruh, you know what? Ah, shit.
We
I
would
forgot
like to
mute.
thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support Sandy Hook Promise, a national nonprofit founded by loved ones of victims who were killed at Sandy Hook Elementary. Their mission is to take action in schools, homes, communities, all in an effort to help prevent gun violence and further losses of life. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's team of dedicated researchers, and we'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. Today's episode discusses in-depth, severe
These are
eating
demon-
disorders,
bruh.
as well as multiple instances of gun violence in schools. Additionally, on a smaller note, there are lots of mentions. We don't dive too deep into the rabbit hole, but we do touch heavily upon controversial topics of certain online forums and sub-communities that glorify school shooters and mass killers. And all of the opinions expressed represent netizen comments that are publicly available online, and we're only sharing them in an effort to provide context to this case. In no way does this represent any of our own beliefs. In addition to the mention of severe eating disorders, there's also discussion of other mental health conditions. The people involved in today's case do not represent these communities, and this episode is not a generalization of any of these conditions. Today's case is also still ongoing with many updates, and if there are any major ones, especially with the trial upcoming, we're going to pin them in the comment below. Lastly, quotes may be condensed or combined for brevity, and with that being said, let's get into it. You can't just resurrect someone. On top of that, the mere definition of resurrection is too vague. The definition of resurrection could also be changed based on who you talk to, what they believe in. But interestingly enough, resurrections are pretty much in every recorded religion, culture. Apparently, it is a story that humans love, bringing someone back from the dead. But there's also different types of resurrections. You have a resurrection proper. This is when the soul comes back to the original body. Literally, somebody dies, they come back to life. This is not a near-death experience like, oh, I almost died. I read blind. You know, I was code red. No, you were dead, and then you come back to life in the original body. You have been resurrected. The second one is a bit more aligned with reincarnations, which is a soul comes back, but in a different or new body. Now, I will say a lot of people believe that you can come back in a new human body, that you were born again with a new life. But some people, a small group of people, believe that you can actually come back through a body that is not new. This is where all the fantasy horror movies come into play. They take heavy inspiration from having someone take over another person's body and be able to control their human form. Then there's resurrection to deification.
You hear about Soulframe, the game made by the dev. It takes place in medieval time. It opens well. I have Soulframe already. I already started playing Soulframe. The reason why I'm not playing Soulframe too much is because I already have my hands full with everything else on top of Warframe. But Soulframe is pretty cool.
Obviously, that's not applicable to today's case, but you pass as a human, you die as a human, but you are now raised to divine status. Sometimes you can bypass the death part and become a god of some sort, but usually there is a dying, whether it's symbolic or literal. But clearly we're not talking about deification or religious resurrections. I would not be well versed enough to touch on that even in the slightest, nor do I think it's my place. However, the point being, humans love a good story of resurrections. It's like embedded into so many of our stories. So much so that even if you're not religious, probably the idea of digging someone up from their final resting place feels uneasy. Because most people have a belief that there is a soul, and that soul is going to be at unrest if you dig them up. And if there's a soul out there, then aren't you just one step away from trying to bring that soul back into a human form? Which is not me saying that resurrections are real
cool.
And that they're feasible. I tend to think the opposite. Even if I were a billionaire, I wouldn't be a cryo chamber buddy with Walt Disney, because just like everyone else that is prone to common sense, I feel that I am skeptical of modern day resurrections and immortality messaging. 15-year-old Isabel Valdez, 14-year-old Lois Lippert, they're not. They want to resurrect someone from the dead by offering up one of their classmates in return by performing what they called a blood oath. I do want to preface this all by saying I strongly believe that Isabel and Lois are both plagued by the incurable disease that is stupidity. Nothing they do or think makes any sense at all. They are the type of individuals that make you want to actively fight overpopulation. Not only are they stupid and reckless, they are very aggressive with it. It's an aggressive IQ problem. I think they wanted to resurrect someone with a blood oath, not because they know what either of those two things mean. Not that that would even change anything, but they strike me as the type of people that feel like it sounds edgy, so they're gonna do it. Isabel and Lois, their combined lack of thought as they move through life could be almost a tad bit silly had their actions not been so destructive, but their whole idea, according to the police reports, is this: it's all gonna happen after second period. That's when they're gonna kill their classmate. Now, the identity of the 15-year-old boy has been thankfully concealed. I'm just gonna use the name John for John Doe. No relation to this case, just John to make it simple instead of saying redacted every 2 seconds. According to the court documents, the plan is this: Isabel is going to the upstairs bathroom after second period. That's where she's gonna wait for John to pass. And she knows that John is gonna pass because she's been stalking John for the past 3 months of her life. Every day at school, she knows what route he takes, what hallways he takes, which classes he has. She's gonna wait for John, and when he walks by, which he always does, she's gonna pull him inside to the bathroom, drag him into the largest stall, and quote, Isabel stated she would then stab him in the stomach or cut his throat. She even brought a knife with her, a kitchen knife. The police ask her, describe the knife to me. It's just a regular kitchen knife. This is Isabel responding, it's just a regular kitchen knife. How big is the knife? About 12 inches long. She had already tried sharpening the knife earlier that morning in school. So before second period, she's already trying to start sharpen the knife. That's one of the first things that she does when she gets to school Friday morning, January 23rd, 2026. So this is very recent. She tries sharpening the knife. The police are asking her, how were you trying to sharpen the knife? I tried to saw it back and forth on the toilet seat to sharpen it.
Girl.
So she's in one of the bathroom stalls, just playing the violin with a knife and a toilet seat. Her friend Lois is helping her, trying to sharpen this knife. It's not working on the toilet seat, so they try, those metal railings that make it easier for you to get up that you hold on to in bathrooms? They're trying to use the metal railing to sharpen the knife.
Bright, huh?
No. Lois even brought additional supplies. Isabel brought Clorox wipes, a trash bag, a knife, a yellow microfiber towel. They're like, why'd you need the microfiber towel? Well, in case I needed to muffle him to cover his mouth. Lois, red-haired girl Lois, what'd you bring? She brought a chocolate bar, Dr. Pepper, gloves, cigarettes, a lighter, and some flowers. The police are like, what are the...
Cooking flowers?
No, like floral.
Oh.
What were the flowers for? Isabel tells the officers that she wanted to leave the flowers for John's funeral. Okay, what about the cigarettes? Why did you ask Lois to bring you cigarettes? Isabel says that she wanted to smoke the 2 cigarettes after killing John because she knew that she would be arrested, so she wanted to smoke before going to jail. Now, side note, she's not even a smoker. She just wants to smoke because she's never smoked before and she knew that she was going to get arrested, so what better time than now to smoke a cigarette? But why John? Like, we know that Isabel has this plan to resurrect a school attacker via a blood oath, aka first-degree murder. She just has a plan to kill an innocent classmate. That's all she has. But why John? John and Isabel have 0 interactions. They have 0 conflicts, conversations. John doesn't even know that Isabel exists, really. But Isabel says it's because John looks just like Adam Lanza, the Sandy Hook shooter. The one that she's trying to resurrect. Her, quote, soulmate. Very early in the morning of January 23rd, 2026, so that's the Friday morning, there's this website called Fortify Florida, where students can submit tips of anything dangerous that's being planned or happening in schools. It's completely anonymous, so you don't feel like a snitch. It's supposed to get forwarded to the appropriate administrators, to the police, and this anonymous tip comes in Friday morning before class starts. A 15-year-old friend of mine, who is trans, with a preferred name of Jimmy, told me that he's gonna kill somebody we know from school by the name of Redacted, John. Which, side note, we always use preferred names and pronouns on this channel, and while it does appear that Isabel would go by the name of Jimmy with some of her classmates, she seems to only mention going by Jimmy and being a trans boy to the police when it feels a little bit convenient. It almost feels like an effort to distance herself from the crime, coupled with the fact that the judge, prosecutors, mainstream media outlets, police, they've all been referring to Isabel with she, her pronouns and her name, Isabel, without any further clarification from Isabel. So Isabel even writes letters to the judge using Isabel Valdez. And also, side note, Isabel pretended to be an advocate against gun violence and supported Sandy Hook support groups on Facebook. So she just strikes me as a rage baiter and a troll. So for that reason, we're just going to be referring to her as Isabel for the time being. But this tip comes in. A 15-year-old friend of mine who is trans with the preferred name of Jimmy told me that he's going to kill somebody we know from school by the name of John. He stated that he would do it tomorrow. Okay, this is like middle of the night. It's basically Friday, but I would assume that
Thursday
this kid
night.
didn't go to sleep. Right. This conversation happened just a couple of hours ago. I have a great suspicion that he's going to do this. He's already been recently involved with police officers at school about threats that we've been getting towards our school. He knows the people who have made the threats, and the cops are also aware of this. He also told me earlier today that the cops had confiscated his phone as they got another threat, which apparently was one of the reasons why he wants to do something like this. I'm not sure about Jimmy's legal name since I never call him by his legal name, but by memory, it might be Isabel. A few hours later, Isabel and Lois are in the back of the police car giggling about going to the same jail, and Isabel starts getting giddy at this idea because she had last night told one of her guy friends about this whole ordeal that she was planning, and she's so excited at the idea that the police are also going to search his phone and he's going to get in trouble because he never reported any of this.
I know they asked me for his phone passcode.
Wait, they went through his phone?
No, they're going to go through his phone. Oh my god. Yes, I told him he knew. He didn't report me. I told him already.
So
So
she's
she
like,
doesn't know someone ratted her out.
no, she's telling Lois, red-haired girl Lois, oh my God. Lois is just giggling. I don't know what's so funny. I told him. He knew. He didn't report me. I told him already. Lois is like, I thought he did a tip. He did a tip? Yeah, there was a tip shown. Did you not see? Someone tipped. He fucking snitched.
He did a tip?
There was a tip shown. Did you not see it?
No?
Someone tipped.
He fucking snitched.
Lois clarifies
Girl.
it was an anonymous tip, but I was just assuming based off the writing.
Oh my fucking god. God, I knew I shouldn't have told him. Because he was like, oh, can you please tell me I can't sleep tonight? Fuck you! God!
This is when she finds out that someone tipped off the police. And Lois is clarifying,
Yeah, I got shown the tip, and it was like, my friend, 15-year-old, named, he goes by Jimmy, is planning to kill some dude. Yeah, and it was like, I don't really remember their real name, but I think it was Isabel. Yeah, it was spelled wrong too.
And Isabel is just having this whole conniption. God, what a fucking snitch! And she's looking out the window as the police are driving past trees, and she's just muttering to herself, so stupid.
God, she's such a fucking snitch. So stupid.
And in the time that they should be contemplating their own existence and their attempted murder charges, Lois mentions her masterful genius plan. She turns to Isabel.
Dude, if I have to be in a room where they have to, like, record me or some shit, I'm going to pull out my tits so that I'd CP. That's what I was thinking. Like, if they had to start doing that instead of just doing like the audio recording, I was like, I'm gonna pull it.
They both seem to silently agree that this is a phenomenal idea. And during a brief moment of quiet in the car, Isabel turns to Lois and she says, Hey, let's roleplay some Columbine stuff.
What?
And she says, wait, so who's Eric? Red-haired Lois responds, well, I'll probably be Eric because Eric obviously gets it in the ass.
Hey, let's roleplay some Columbine stuff. Hey,
Yeah.
Wait, who's Eric?
Well, obviously, I'll probably be Eric because Eric obviously gets it up the ass.
Okay.
So red-haired Lois is going to roleplay Eric, one of the Columbine shooters, and Isabel is going to be Dylan, another one of the Columbine shooters. Isabel starts doing this unsettling but also very bizarre role-playing session in the car, and mind you, there's still 2 police officers in the front. Isabel says,
Hey, Eric.
Oh, fuck off, Cleveland.
Hey, kitty, please talk to me.
You probably don't even know about KMFDM.
which, side note, KMFDM is a German industrial rock band that Eric was a huge fan of, and it's almost become, unfortunately for the band, synonymous with this weird glorifying school attacker aesthetic. People who don't even like KMFDM music will purchase KMFDM shirts to wear because they think they're in the aesthetic of Eric and Dylan. I don't know what aesthetic that is.
Yeah, what?
Dead. Okay, but Isabel is like, yeah, I do. Flashes off my KMFDM shirt.
Yes, I do. Flashes my KMFDM shirt off.
So she's like inserting the motions of role playing. She's like, yeah, I know the band. Flashes off my KMFDM shirt. Lois, aka Eric, turns to her and is like, whoa, you know about KMFDM? Yeah. I feel something in my pants. Ha 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 ha.
Whoa, you know about KMFDM?
Yes.
I feel something in my pants.
Isabel says, hey, what if I have my Jewish babies inside of you?
What
I
is
hate
happening?
insert derogatory term for Jewish people. No. What's wrong with you, Eric? Please, please, please. Okay, fine. And Isabel hits her with a, sticks it up your butt.
Hey, what if you have my Jewish babies inside you?
I hate Jews, no!
What's wrong with you, Eric? Please, please.
You're not supposed to say Jews?
Fine. Don't feel like Jewish nose at me.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know about
And then
the
at
English.
some point, Isabel
Parce qu'en français, on dit un juif, une personne juive, un juif. It's not like the end of the world, but what in English, Jews is like bad. I'm gonna need I'm gonna need an explanation on that one because I'm very confused.
gets distracted mid-role play, gets distracted looking out the window and goes, hey, my sister goes to therapy over there.
Hey, my sister goes to therapy over here.
I'm so lost right now.
Let me give you some context. There is a small but very scary group of people on the internet that idolize the Columbine shooters, Eric and Dylan. Basically, they call themselves Columbiners, and they will
Lord.
make fan edits of Dylan and Eric with sad songs and captions like, good night, R.I.P. my babies. And they're not saying R.I.P. to all the victims whose lives were lost during the Columbine attack. They're saying R.I.P. my babies to Dylan and Eric. They're called Columbiners, and they obsess over making edits of the dead killers with either Europop songs or pumped up kicks, and they tell others that Eric is the cuter one. It's very reminiscent of the Wade Wilson case where people felt like they could save Wade Wilson just because, what, he's tall, he has cartoonish face tattoos, and
There's something interesting about this case because, like, from what I have observed, And that's not, I don't know if it's a fact. I don't know if it's like, from what I have personally observed, every time I hear that somebody in jail has a fandom, it's like some dumb white dude. And I'm wondering, is there like representation in the pool of criminals that stupid people love to glamorize? The only one that I can think of is the dude that kills some cops. I don't remember his name. I think it was like an ex military personnel, and he was done with like corruption and whatnot. I think that's probably the only one that I can see people, even normie, sort of like, you know, approve or whatever. But that's kind of like different, to be honest. He didn't do this to bring back some horrible people. He actually did that because I'm pretty sure he was, first of all, very mentally ill, and also, it reminds me of Killmonger in a way, where like I can understand your frustration. I do not agree with the method. Yeah.
Has the same name as a Marvel character. It's so idiotic to the point where I don't even think that I can describe in a way that would do it justice how dumb this whole thing is. He also killed 2 people, Wade Wilson. So stop the nonsense. Columbiners are consistently one of the groups that get booted from practically every social media platform because they're Columbiners.
Exactly.
And the Columbine tragedy has sadly become this entry point for people to start romanticizing and resonating with mass killers. One netizen points out, Columbine is constantly portrayed as the ultimate archetype of outcast, getting revenge against society. Therefore, disenfranchised edgelords start viewing the shooters as inspiration. In reality, Eric and Dylan were just assholes with very, very hateful mentalities. It's created this very alarming subculture of people who most likely post gore in their discords. Like, that's kind of the general subgroup that we're talking about, subculture. Now, side note, even the idea that the 2 killers were bullied, I mean, first of all, that's hardly any sort of justification or sympathy point. So many people have been bullied. They don't go on to kill innocent people, but even that has been highly debated. Many say that they were bullied, but also they went on to bully others. Others say that they were barely bullied. They just used it as a reason to hate humankind. And then most people agree that if they were bullied, they were not bullied any worse than how they bullied others even before the killings. So I understand that there might be a want to understand what was happening in the minds of these 2 killers, but it's very alarming to relate more to the killers than to the victims.
Exactly.
Just because the killers were rejected by society. No, felt they were rejected by society. Dylan and Eric, and the only reason that I'm talking even slightly in depth about either of them is because it's pretty pertinent to this case. But Dylan and Eric, they left behind what is now referred to as the basement tapes. They documented their process on planning the entire attack on their school. They have thankfully, these basement tapes in its entirety, thankfully have not been released to the public. There has been a lot of pushback over the years. A lot of people want these basement tapes to be released so that they can armchair psychoanalyze the actions of the 2 killers, stating that it would give the general public a better understanding of why the killers did what they did. And I personally don't think that they should ever be released. I think it would just give Columbiners more materials for their weird edits and spawn even more copycats and further traumatized victims and their families. And that is if they even still have the basement tapes. From what I understand, Jefferson County Sheriff's Department has destroyed the basement tapes years ago. I do think that perhaps federal agencies could hold copies, but I'm not entirely sure. But all of this leads to the Columbiner fandom. There is an overlap with another fandom.
Sandy Hook.
And the fact that I'm calling it a fandom makes me want to pull my hair out. The dumbass Columbiners, there's a bit of an overlap to a fandom that is obsessed with this indie film called 0 Day. It's a found footage style film, and it opens with 2 guys. They're vlogging. So the whole time it's like a vlog, an extended vlog. The last few minutes, there's CCTV footage, but most of it is a vlog. And they're vlogging in front of a school saying, this is our high school located in our town. It's our worst enemy. It's our nemesis. There will be a series of missions followed by a big ass mission called 0 Day. The movie is about 2 high school students, Calvin or Cal and Andre, and they're going to be school shooters. It's very clearly inspired by Columbine. Even the two characters, it seems like Cal is based on Dylan and Andre being Eric. There is a lot of praise around the film centered around how real it felt, with movie clips often being mistaken for real footage from Columbine, which is conflicting. But people state that they watched the movie and they've become even more passionate about gun reform because it's left such an unsettling feeling in their hearts. I imagine that's the ultimate mission of the filmmakers. However, a lot of Columbiners have created a miserable subculture around Zero Day, the indie film as well. They would make fan art, fan edits. I mean, granted, it's a fictional movie, but it's so closely resembling the Columbine tragedy that I find it hard to understand how you can make fan edits of these two fictional characters and how you can become obsessed with them, especially when they're still school shooters at the end of the day, even in the fictional plot. Like, nobody watches Criminal Minds and starts making fan edits of one of the pedophiles depicted in this fictional show just because it's fictional. It's still unsettling. And again, this is not the group of people who felt like this movie was deeply touching in a sense of it was so startling, it was so poignant, and they fell in love with the actors, the individuals who depicted the characters. It's not that. These are fans who fixate on Cal and Andre as the school attackers. They don't care about the actors. They don't care about how the film made them feel. They just want to make fan edits of them. And it's primarily just offensive wannabe edgelord slop.
So you say the two girls wanted to bring back,
Adam Lanza, who's the Sandy Hook shooter.
so they just love every school shooters. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that whole role playing, is that just like a thing they do, to like a game they commonly play?
It seems like it. It seems like this is how they talk on Discord, and a lot of people have categorized them as LARPers.
What's that?
It's like faker, like people trying to be edgy, but you're not actually edgy. But I would imagine that most people who idolize these killers are all LARPers, or primarily, because why are you idolizing them? It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really weird because I think everyone dislikes Isabel Valdez and Lois Lippert, or it seems, generally speaking, most people dislike them because of what they've done. But weirdly, even in their community that they came from, where they glorify killers, they're getting hated on, because I went into the weird depths of the darkness on the internet. And they're getting hated on over there because they're like, they're little fucking faker LARPers. And I'm like, you guys are all weird. And within this niche of Zero Day fans, they have a group of people that like fan art and a group of people that will make fan art for these people. Artists who would draw fan art of Cal and Andre, and there was one that was somewhat well known on Tumblr by the name of Fox Fever. Fox Fever is Lois Lippert. She actually has an extensive portfolio of drawing Zero Day fan art. So the indie film fan art of Cal and Andre, loosely based off of Eric and Dylan.
So what exactly does she draw? Like,
She just draws she's... Okay, I'm just going to try to describe some of her art. I'm going to try to put some up in the video podcast, but it's pretty graphic, some of them. She will draw them making out. I mean, she's objectively not a bad artist, but her depictions are quite dark. With Andre, he has blood dripping out of his mouth. He's stabbing his own stomach. Another shows Andre wearing a shirt that reads Natural Selection, which is what one of the Columbine attackers wore. Another shows Cal going down on Andre. Another one of them is of them hugging, kissing, where both of their mouths are filled with blood. They're harming each other with knives and finding satisfaction from it. One, they're full on having intimate relations. And one where it appears that they are lovingly looking into each other's eyes while blood is spewing in the back, which you can kind of piece together that might be taken from a moment of inspiration, perhaps, of how they were looking at each other while innocent lives are being taken by them. Another one that depicts Cal and Andre dead on the ground, but that drawing is very reminiscent of the Columbine killer's death photo that has been circulating. Yeah. Fox Fever, Lois Lippert, would even animate her drawings. One shows Andre sitting there looking conflicted while Cal is screaming at him, "Why does it hurt to love you?" Andre responds, "I don't know." So it's really not that deep, but another drawing comes with the words, "You can't cure somebody who has nothing wrong with them." She also liked to draw Elliot Rogers, Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the Academy Maniacs, which is a Russian killer. So again, just like wannabe edgelord slop. But 14-year-old Lois Lippert has also drawn very personal images of Isabel and John, the classmate that they were allegedly going to kill together. One drawing shows John sitting on the floor and his body language looks like he's backing away, trying to scoot away. And Isabel is holding on to him, caressing his face and telling him he looks like a porcelain doll.
How do we know who exactly she's drawing though?
Oh, because they tell the police.
Oh,
Yeah.
they explain their art?
Yeah. Yeah. And you can kind of tell the facial features. So Cal and Andre are drawn in a very specific way all the time. With John, there's slight discrepancies where it's sometimes hard to tell whether she's drawing Adam Lanza or John, but most of the time it's John, the actual student that they're trying to kill.
Wow.
Another drawing shows Isabel being hugged, and on one side it's Adam Lanza, and on the other side it's John, and they're both kissing her on the cheek and the head. Then there's another one of John with a rope. Another one shows Isabel holding John, and the caption reads, "Take your hands off my neck and hold on to the ghost of my body." They're just trying to be dark and introspective and poetic.
Can
Isabel's
therapy
the
save
artist?
them?
No.
Because
Okay, so she is drawing her friend?
Yeah, Lois.
Not herself.
No, Lois Red Hair is drawing Isabel with John, and Isabel is the one that wants to kill John. Lois is just kind of here for the ride. She's like, "I'll help you," essentially.
So she's
Allegedly.
not like drawing herself
No,
at all.
no.
Interesting. Okay.
So she's drawing Isabel, she's drawing John, and she does take a lot of requests. There was apparently a DM from people who had messaged Lois Lippert, red-haired girl, the artist previously, and were like, "Hey, can you draw this for me?" And she would say, "You have to go through Jimmy first," which is Isabel. So it seems like she does take requests. Then another one is Isabel holding a guy's face to her chest. It looks like John, and she's hugging him. He looks very alarmed and not excited to be there. It's just odd. Another one depicts Isabel holding up a very thin, frail John up against the wall, like holding him up in the air while she's admiring him. Others show Isabel reaching down there, doing things to John. Another shows her performing intimate acts on Adam Lanza. One of the alarming drawings shows Isabel and John dead on the ground, but the way they're laying on the ground, the clothing that they're wearing, the positioning of their bodies, where their arms are laying, it's basically, again, the Columbine shooter's death photo, because both self-exited in the library that day. It's a real photo, but it's drawn, and it's replaced with Isabel and John instead of Eric and Dylan. Back in the police car, Isabel turns to Lois, the artist, the red-haired girl. They also saw the drawings. The ones of Isabel and John, the student that they were trying to allegedly kill, right? And the ones of Isabel and Adam Lanza that Lois drew all of this for. And Lois doesn't even seem that alarmed. She just says,
They also saw the drawings.
Oh yeah, I told them about that. I told them like, yeah, I did some weird drawings. I didn't actually tell the full thing till like 10:30, I think.
Yeah, they made me tell everything that was in the drawings.
Oh, okay, can you remind me of the drawings? Let me just know what they went through.
Dude.
Did they comment on it? They were like, "This is really good." Did they say anything?
Yeah, they said, "You're quite the artist," and I was like, "No, that's my friend Lois's."
once they settle back down from giggling, Isabel looks at Lois and she's like, "Dude, we were supposed to spread our story through around the TCC though."
What's TCC?
TCC is typically known as the true crime community, but this is not. Like, I know if you're watching this video, you're like, "Oh, I've never heard of TCC." There's a reason for it. We're not talking about the Redditors who are on Unsolved Mysteries, who are on 48 Hours, who are watching Dateline, going into rabbit holes. That's not what you typically refer to as TCC. TCC is more aligned with people who glorify mass murders, typically the ones that attack schools, to the point that it's almost synonymous with the Columbine community, which is basically Columbiners. To give you another example, I was falling into some weird rabbit holes. Like, they're the ones that are making, you know, the Vietnamese butcher case that we covered recently. They're making fan romantic edits of the killer and the victim falling in love whilst in the act of the crime. You could be listening to this podcast. You could be watching Dateline and never see a TCC edit in your lifetime on any of your algorithms because there's not necessarily an overlap. To give you an idea, one person comments, I remember when I was younger, I tried to join TCC thinking it was internet sleuths, but it was just a bunch of people saying mass shooters were hot, and I was very disappointed. Another one writes, the TCC is so fucking lame these days. I remember when people actually studied cases and had genuine interest in criminology. These days, it's just, ooh, I want XYZ murderer to breed me. They make edits of Adam Lanza saying, I love Adam. He's so silly and quirky. They like to justify killers and their actions with blanket statements like, but we all make mistakes. He was just being quirky. They'll edit killers with halos as if they're in heaven. Some of them will even go as far to write about how they think one of the killers, and I'm not going to name them specifically because I don't really care to name more than necessarily in this episode, but they write about how one of these random school attackers would make a good boyfriend because, by the way, this is someone who killed over a dozen students, but they write, first, I think he would be very clingy and affectionate. He literally wouldn't ever get his head turned by any other girl. He'd be so focused and set on his girlfriend. This is a positive and also maybe a negative. It may be overwhelming and overbearing sometimes. He'd be quirky for sure, which I guess is a good thing. Depends on how you define quirky. He would have very different interests. I'm sure he would be very different from the usual guys that you would meet. I think he would sometimes come off as aggressive in heated moments, but then afterwards apologize profusely to his girlfriend in case he upset her. I think personally speaking, he'd be a nice boyfriend, but it would take someone open-minded and caring to understand that he's different. And different isn't necessarily bad. He's a mass killer. Another one writes on a picture of Dylan, one of the Columbine killers, I will never understand the girls that turn Dylan down because damn, I'd beg God on my knees to even be near him. Those girls don't even know how lucky they truly were.
Oh my God.
There's even Dilrick shippers. These are Dylan and Eric shippers who... I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth, who shipped Dylan and Eric, the Columbine killers. And then there's Adam Lanza, who, to bypass all of the algorithms on social media, lots of people will do like hashtag Adam Lasagna, which is what they call Adam Lanza, and they post so that they don't get banned on these platforms. He's the Sandy Hook shooter. He killed 20 first graders and 6 educators and then self-exited when law enforcement arrived at the school. One person writes, whenever I think too hard about Adam dying in the fetal position, it makes me want to throw up. He was seeking comfort and connection even in the very end despite denying himself of it in life. Sometimes I think about who the person was to prepare Adam for cremation and if they treated his body with respect. It's going to sound freaky, but I wish I could have had just a moment with his body, not to do anything gross, but just to feel how frail he was and how he would never had even had the chance to get better, even if he didn't go through with his plan. Again, same killer who killed 26 people, 27 if you count his mother that he killed before going to Sandy Hook.
Wow.
He's also the one that had this very rambling video essay rant. It's like 6 hours long. It was miserable to get through. But he says, if you've ever known to have engaged in a pedophile relationship with a child, you're instantly imprisoned for prolonged periods. You're brutalized in prison, and people actually celebrate that as if it's a good thing. And then if you're lucky enough to escape prison with your life, you're on a sex offender registry. You're possibly castrated. You're tracked with a GPS device in some instances, and there are just so many issues that PDF files that everyone seems to think it's not a problem at all. It's somehow justified that they're treated in that manner, and you have to develop such extensive arguments just to refute that delusion that somehow having with children is harmful to them innately.
Okay.
Basically, he's a PDF file defender. And people are commenting,
Wow.
He's so intelligent and cute. He was so smart. I miss him every second of my life. I cry over Adam at least twice a week. Isabel Valdez.
There's a whole different world out there. There's a whole different world out there. And every time I hear something from Reddit, it's a reminder of that. There is a whole new world of weirdo, and I just don't get it. I can't relate. It's one of those times where I'm like, people should be more like me in this regard, yeah, less fucking weird. We have lost common sense. I don't get it. I would like to understand, but I'm not even sure it's worth trying to. Also, I think I should have started with my eyes instead of my fucking foundation. Fuck me.
Was one of those people who liked Adam Lanza. Her Facebook cover photo is a memorial banner for Sandy Hook, which is a sign that reads, Sandy Hook Elementary School, we will remember. Previously, it was Columbine High School, Heart, Sandy Hook Elementary School. Her Facebook bio reads, gun safety advocate, 12/13/2012, 28 dove emoji. 28 dove emoji, she's referring to Sandy Hook, and 28, that includes Adam Lanza, which nobody includes him in that count. Some people don't even include his mom in that count because they feel that she failed to get her son the help that he clearly needed and more or less gave him easy access to firearms. Sorry. But Isabel is counting Adam Lanza, 28 dove emoji. According to police documents, she tells the assistant principal that the morning that she's caught, because of this whole tip, like a few hours before she killed John, that her victim is John because he's perfect. He reminds her of Adam Lanza, and that she heard voices telling her that if she kills John, she and Adam Lanza would have this blood bond, and it would bring Adam Lanza back to life. The police report reads, Isabel went on to say that after she killed John, she was going to make a blood ritual for Adam Lanza.
So he actually died. Like, for some reason, I was still under the impression that they attempted to kill him, but they were caught before that. I don't know why. Like, because I didn't read the title of the video. I just saw that it was two young girls and this is Red and Mango. So I don't know why I think it was hope. I think there was a hope that they're stupid. Obviously they need to be, but they actually did kill. I haven't been paying attention enough, I guess.
I asked Isabel what was her intent when she said she was going to make a blood ritual. Isabel stated she was going to take the photos she brought of John, place them against his body. Isabel stated that she was going to try and wipe John's blood, even though he's bleeding. And then she stated that she asked Lois for an extra shirt so she could put it on John's body. No one knows what any of this means. Like, this feels like the weirdest, bizarrely strung together crime. Isabel believes this blood ritual would show her devotion to Lanza. Isabel stated that she heard voices saying if she carried out killing John, Lanza's voice would come back to her. Isabel stated that she used to hear Adam Lanza's voice, but no longer does, and she misses Lanza's voice quite a bit, and it's disappointing that she never got that connection again. And she believes that if she kills John, Lanza would come back to her, and she wouldn't be alone. Isabel advised that while she was sitting in class, one of her online friends pleaded with her not to follow through with her plan, but she was intent on killing John.
So do we know what happened? Someone tipped the police, and the police just showed up at the school, and
but it was too late.
Yes. So someone tips the police, and the administrators also get the same tip later. Isabel and Lois have already showed up at the school. They're going through their classes as normal. The whole plan is to take place after second period. But before then, they're like, we got to sharpen the knife. So they've already gone to the bathroom, scoped it out, tried sharpening the knife, and then they went back to class. Administrators get the tip, and they're like, we got to pull Isabel out of class.
How do they know it's Isabel?
Because at the very end, it said her government name, I think, is like Isabel, right? So they pull Isabel out of class. They bring her into the administrator's office, and the assistant principal is asking her a shit ton of questions before the police even get there. The police are on their way. They make it there, and they arrest her and Lois.
So they put Isabel out, and Isabel just straight up start telling them everything.
Yeah.
But
and she's like, all the stuff is in my backpack.
I'm confused.
And I am going to kill him.
Yeah.
So he's not
and
dead.
She's like, because I wanted to bring back Adam Lanza. They immediately get placed in the back of the police car where for the next 30 minutes, they do damage that I don't think a defense attorney could ever undo.
Do you believe they were going to go through with it?
Yeah. Isabel even clarifies in her written statement to the police later that the whole blood oath, because I mean, not that making sense would make it better or understandable or justifiable, obviously not, but it's so poorly executed and thought out, it doesn't even make sense to people. So she's trying to clarify, well, the blood oath was going to happen because she was going to drink John's blood and then smear his blood on her body. That would be the blood oath. Even in her written statement, she writes like this: I was planning to possibly smear his blood on myself and or drink it. I wanted to take photos afterwards, then leave his body in the bathroom and give the camera SD card to Lois Lippert. I was going to do it because I heard voices telling me that if I did it to show my devotion, Adam would come back and speak to me like before. Heart. She's writing hearts in this police written statement. John also didn't do anything. He had no interactions with Isabel. He never spoke with her. There was no conflict. They never fought. Like, he is just picked as a victim purely because Isabel felt like he looked like Adam and that Adam is Isabel's soulmate. The police report states that from September of 2025 to January of 2026, so the span of a few months, Isabel has been diligently stalking John. She's been taking pictures of him. Prosecutors eventually find over 200 photographs of John in Isabel's possession.
Jesus.
According to the police report, I asked Isabel when she started taking the photos of John. September. I asked her, where she was when she took all these photos, and she said that they were all taken at school. She would wait in the areas where she knew that he would be and would sometimes go there and just take photos waiting for him to show up. She would wait for John to pass her, and she never tried to make it known that she's taking pictures of him, so he would have his back turned to her and she would take all these photos. But it continues. And they're asking, what did you do with the photos? Did you post them anywhere? She's like, yeah. I posted them on my TikTok. My TikTok handle is I Love Sandy Hook.
Oh, God.
You're kidding me.
Okay. You know what?
You're up late online shopping. You finally spot exactly what you want, and then you see it, that purple Shop Pay button. One tap and you are checked out of there in seconds. Shopify's Shop Pay button is used by millions of businesses, and it's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. No need to get the wallet out. No need to spend time logging in. You can just complete your checkout with one tap of one button. My family and I had a shop called Grandpa Mingo's Art Studio where we sold his traditional Chinese artwork for an exclusive time. And back when we were newbies, I knew Shopify from their Shop Pay button and just their fast checkouts. But now, as a small business owner, Shopify became my business's literal foundation with easy to make templates, secure checkouts, and basically anything you need to start your small online business or even scale your massive global company. There's a reason why Shopify remains the best option for business owners. See less carts go abandoned and more sales with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/rotten. Go to shopify.com/rotten. That's shopify.com/rotten. Off-duty healthcare workers who rush to help a stranger when they are choking or unresponsive, that's a power move. Anyone who immediately acts like a best friend if they see a girl alone in an unwanted situation with a man, power move. Just like how hiring Morgan & Morgan is a power move. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers with over $30 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients. Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. In Florida, Morgan & Morgan secured a $644 million verdict for a client after the defense argued that the victim and his wife should receive nothing. And in California, another client was recently awarded $15 million in a mid-trial settlement. If you are injured by the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/rotten or dial pound law, pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/rotten or pound law, pound 529. This is a paid advertisement. In Isabel's journal, she's contemplating heavily whether or not John, her classmate, victim, knows that she's obsessed with him. And she's trying to work through her thoughts in a very weird fashion. It appears that she's passing notes with, I want to say Lois, most likely Lois, or it could be really any one of her other classmates. But Isabel writes, do you think he actually switched out of this class? Like, I feel like she wouldn't have even put the ticket, like maybe he's just skipping because I creeped him out. So she's like, is he skipping class because I creeped him out? Or did he switch out of this class because I creeped him out? And she's like, most likely he is. I doubt it. He doesn't even know my name. I mean, probably didn't even read it. Like, I just keep thinking, I need to stop thinking he'll probably just avoid me because it wasn't that weird. So we don't have any context, but it's pretty clear that she's like, oh, I'm kind of creeping this guy out. Someone writes back on the note, I honestly think he's just skipping, but maybe he's in the process of getting something against you. I hope he doesn't get a restraining order. Isabel writes, no, he would have already told his mom. I've been doing it for like 2 weeks. Most likely when he turns around sometimes. So this sounds like taking pictures. Like I do it when he's turned around. Isabel's friend writes back, but maybe he did notice all the other times you were following and filming him? Wait, he turned around, like staring at us? No, like when I get personal shots when I'm alone. It's just when he's turned around. On her Tumblr account, Isabel used to write things about John, like, he smiles like Dylan, looks like Adam, is absolute perfection. He's the perfect example of what can be made. He looks like a doll. I adore him. I'm in the worst parasocial relationship with him, and Fox has been drawing me art of us. I've been following him around and whatnot. But she tells the officers that she resisted killing him because, quote, I first came up with the plan approximately 3 months ago, but I resisted the urge to follow through with the plan, and I would just tell myself, I have to stop thinking like that. But it clearly doesn't work because January 23rd, 2026, she is arrested for trying to kill John. Inside Isabel Valdez's backpack, along with the knife, the rag, the trash bags, the gloves, the Clorox wipes, there's a little note left behind, and it reads, Dear Mama and Papa, I'm sorry for what I'm gonna do. Hopefully you will find this paper. I want you guys to know that none of it is your fault or anyone else's in that, in that matter. I chose to do this myself, for myself and Adam Lanza. They told me that Adam would come back to speak with me if I did this for him. Adam Lanza wanted it. I think it's a fair and beautiful sense of devotion on my behalf. I love Adam Lanza. We're soulmates, just waiting to be reunited once more. I want you guys to know that you are the most perfect parents ever. I'm sorry I could not be a better child. I've known there's been something wrong with me since I was a little kid. I just never showed it. And I'm sorry. I was never really shy. I just hated people. And I was aware of how disgusting everyone is. Being forced to talk was torture. These ramblings are very reminiscent of Adam Lanza, so I'm not entirely sure if this is genuinely how she felt or if this is how she fell into this like TCC community and tried to embody this aesthetic of outcast. I never liked humanity. Mankind is doomed and society has all these values that don't mean anything and we're just imposing values upon others and morality is not even objective. Morality just doesn't exist as a concept. I don't know if she just like listened to the fucking 5.5 hour ramblings of Adam Lanza that are incoherent most of the time and don't make good sense, but I don't know if this is how she truly felt or if this is furthering the aesthetic that she wants to be a part of. She says, I pretended to be a socialite. Just not the word to be used in that context, but to make you guys happy because I love seeing you guys happy. It was one of the only things that made me happy. Over the years, I've just lost control over myself and my emotions. Whenever I told someone I hated you guys, it was a pure lie. I'm sorry for ever hurting you, and I deserve what's coming for me, as I am also disgusting, cruel, and useless. Again, these are very reminiscent of the Columbine killers and Adam Lanza. Well, actually, maybe the Columbine killers, they believe themselves to be above humankind. But perhaps in an attempt to get Isabel to have some remorse, the assistant principal, before she's arrested, initially asked her, did you consider how your parents or even how John's parents would feel if you went through with this? They would be sad, but I don't really care. Did you consider the consequences, like of what happens to you if you go through with this? Jail or psych ward, but it doesn't matter. I was still going to do it. I want to be with Adam Lanza. She later admits that last night before school, she did cry in the shower, but it was, quote, because she wasn't crying because of herself or her actions, but because of how it was going to affect others, But also at the same time, she was thinking, whatever, what's done is done. That's what she says. Isabel states that she only feels bad for her parents because they've been great and they tried their best. So back in the back of the police car, Isabel and Lois are ranting about how the police were grilling them. Red-haired Lois Lippert, the 14-year-old, right? She's more so the accomplice.
So after police came, before they were taken into the police car, they already went through a round of questioning in the school?
Oh, yeah. And then as they're walking out, both handcuffed together, they're like, hey, best friend.
From school to the police car?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the only time they look a little serious is when Isabel Valdez is being read her charges, which is attempted murder.
When was that?
in the school hallway, and she looks a little serious, but not really. She just looks like a little somber.
There's a whole tape from the school all the way to the police car?
There's like 6-7 minutes from inside the school. There's a few minutes going to the police car, and then there's about 40, but 10 minutes of those are after so like 36 minutes of them because we did a FOIA request. There's about 36 minutes of them in the car talking, yapping, and they really don't like to sit in silence. So it's like a solid 30 minutes of yapping. And if you're watching the video podcast on YouTube, I'm actually going to dump the entire body cam footage clip at the end of the episode because I've kind of broken it up into parts. But if you want to see the whole thing in chronological order, it's going to be at the very end. So Isabel and Lois Lippert are sitting in the back, and Lois, red hair, 14-year-old girl, the accomplice, is saying, I told them the important stuff. And then they came back and they were like, I'm getting really pissed off. You're not telling me everything. And I was like, I swear that's all I remember. So I just had to sit there for a few minutes just trying to remember every fucking thing and every fucking little detail. And I was like, oh, so there are these images of Adam Lanza. Isabel cuts in. Dude, I forgot what to say halfway through my interview. Yeah, that was me for most of my interview. Well, actually, half the interview was just me being silent and not doing anything because I was hoping I could cling on to the like, you have the right to remain silent. But low-key, that didn't work. That didn't really work. Isabel's like, I know, because it's like they're just going to use it against me in court.
No,
like,
girl! Hey. No! You shut the fuck up, so they can't use anything in court. Oh, Jesus Christ. You're literally not supposed to say anything until your lawyer get there. I'm very surprised that... Well, I'm not surprised. Like, a lawyer should have been there, unless, like, one of the teacher was there to kind of chaperone everything. But, like, children or not, because that's what these two dumbasses are, they're fucking kids. They still, they still have right to legal representation. So, ciao. And this happened this year, huh? I'm surprised I didn't hear about it. But to be fair, I don't really, I don't know. Maybe not the kind of news that I would have give a fuck about. That being said, it's still crazy. It's still crazy. I don't know about this look. I don't know about this look for real. I hope it works.
Why do you have these drives with these little boy? Like hard drives of pictures of this little boy. And then she goes, hey, why do you have these drives of these little boy? Sorry.
Oh, they're gonna use it against me in court. Hey, why you have these drives of this little boy? Sorry.
What?
Yeah. Lois is like, he's not a little boy. He's older than you. No, he's not. Well, oh yeah. Yeah, he's older than you. It's not some little boy. They can't say this little boy. This older boy. This older boy who's abusing me. So now they're giggling and coming up with this idea of trying to say that the victim was abusing them, which he in no world was. And Isabel finds it funny. She's like, yeah, I think in my dreams he told me he wanted me to kill him, so I think it's only fair. Yeah, oh my God, I almost laughed and almost peed myself. This becomes a reoccurring theme where Lois keeps saying that she almost peed herself. So she's like, I almost laughed so hard, I almost peed myself. She's not really laughing in these moments. And I will say, if you watch the clip in its entirety that I'm putting at this end of the video, you just see Lois get filled with more and more regret, like both of them. The energy gets more tense. They're still joking around and laughing, but I think it's dawning on them very slowly what's happening.
Very slowly.
Yeah, very slowly. Very, very slowly, yeah. Because it should have dawned on them before they even got into the car.
So you said there are two cops in the front.
Yes.
They can clearly hear it.
Yeah, because they later talk to them. They interject in one of their conversations. Yeah, we're going to get there. Yeah, the cops are clearly hearing this. I personally think that the cops strategically put them in the back of the police car together so that they could have this conversation because, of course, they're...
Yeah, the more, the better.
Yeah, and then I think they took a longer route. Because I don't think that it would take 36 minutes for them to get from the school to the local police department.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. So do you think they just didn't know there was a camera recording in the car?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well,
And
right.
that's why a
knew.
lot of this is where it gets really weird. So there are lots of people in the TCC community. And again, this is not me saying like, oh, I'm part of the TCC community, so I know what they're saying. This is me saying like, I was diving into the TCC community to see what it's about. And people were saying, oh, they're not real TCCers because they don't know that there's cameras in the back of the police car. But also real TCCers, from what I can tell, they still like to post edits of Adam Lasagna with eccentric Europunk music in the background with rainbow edits because it's so quirky. And their whole thing is like, why does me posting rainbow edits of school shooters, does that make me dangerous? Yeah, Becky, it fucking makes you dangerous.
It makes you
I don't know
fucking
what else
weird.
to say. Now, Lois says with a bit of regret in her voice, dude, I should have gotten my diagnosis before this. I've been talking about that, being like, yeah, I should go to a psychiatrist or something and actually fucking get diagnosed and shit. I should have gotten it before all this shit happened, and then I would have some sort of thing to clean it up. Isabella's like, dude, I thought I was going to get sent to the psych ward. That's what I was so excited about everything. Isabella explains to Lois that she just regrets telling the officers everything.
But I shouldn't have told them all this shit. Like, okay, so I was there, and then they were asking me about the swatting incident that happened.
So, yeah, she was trying to get people swatted. We're going to get there in a second. And what happened, and I started crying because I thought that, they were going to feel bad for me and send me to the psych ward. Because I was like, I thought about hurting somebody. Yeah, I thought about hurting the boy. And then they saw right through my shit. And then they pulled out, the bag from my backpack. I had to tell them everything that was inside. Later, she mentions, dude, I should have told them that. I was going to tell them yesterday. I was going to say, oh yeah, I'm doing all this stuff because I want to be a police officer.
Please, I wanted to be a police officer. Please.
And then she pretends to be the fake imaginary police officer she's saying this to. And she's like, no, sorry. So she's like, I should have told them that I want to be a police officer. Nope, I'm sorry. Okay. Like, this is how they talk. That's the tone in which they talk. Now, there's a lot to complain about in the back of this police car as well.
God,
Lois rants about how cold it was in the room when they were talking to her. It was so cold in that room. I know, dude. They had me sitting there and I was dude, they took away my chocolate. Isabel, because remember, Isabel is the one that primarily wants to kill John. Mm-hmm. Isabel had asked Lois, the little artist, to bring chocolate and Dr. Pepper. Mm-hmm. Okay, Lois brings it, gives it to her. And now Isabel is like, the chocolate you gave me? They took away my chocolate. And Lois goes, no. I was able to eat a part of it. It was a part of the big bar, but then that was it.
Dude, they took away my chocolate. No! I was able to eat a part of it, a part of the big bar.
Lois is so upset. And she's like, bro, I wanted to come back to second period so I could have nibbled on some of it with you. That was my main goal. Some netizens have found it ironic that the two are friends because Isabel Valdez is kind of a bigger girl, I guess is how you would describe her. And then Lois Lippert, she had a Twitter account that heavily promotes, is pro-Anna, pro-ED, engages in quote unquote fatspo. Fatspo is basically described as quote, fatspo is when people with EDs use a picture of a person bigger than themselves as inspiration to continue with their eating disorder or not becoming fat like the person in the picture. So some netizens found it ironic and they made it a big joke of whether or not Lois Lippert used her own friend Isabel Valdez as fatspo. Essentially everything about this case makes you want to spiral into a depressive state. Just every little rabbit hole leads somewhere worse. But on Lois Lippert's Twitter account, she would post a lot of pro-Anna things, as well as she would document throwing up in the toilet, and then she would stick her hand in the toilet bowl and play with her throw up like it was slime and post videos of it. Okay. There's also an unverified Tumblr account, and I cannot tell you if this is real, okay, but apparently this is Isabel's unverified Tumblr account where she posts, I love being fat. Everyone is significantly smaller than me, and I love small people. I love small boys. I love the thought of beating them up and breaking their bones and then just watching their bodies bruise. I want to touch them all over. I want to see them resist. Probably the first time I felt these, dare I say, erotic pleasures was in or around 5th or 6th grade. I remember in 6th grade, I would go up to people and hug them tightly. I loved feeling them push me away and struggle. I loved the way they yelled at me after. We can't be certain that this is Isabel's account, but it's in tune with the picture of her holding up John, almost like she's about to slam him up against the wall. I don't think that there's any debate that both of these girls are struggling with various mental health issues, but I do think a lot of young girls at that age they don't go and try to resurrect a school shooter. These girls, they even gaggle about what it must have been like for John. Lois is giggling, imagine being pulled out of class. And yeah, some girl was planning on killing you. He's probably gonna be like he's got to be told. Like, they can't. And Isabella's like, yeah, I wrote him a note. And I was like,
yeah, I'm not guilty for my actions, but no, I was like, I don't feel guilty for my actions, but I feel guilty on how you were going to feel. Because honestly, I don't fucking care.
She gave him a letter?
she wrote him a note, but I don't think it was never given to him. Isabel giggles and says, so are we gonna become one of those lesbian couples now in jail? Lois looks at her. Yeah, and you could be the butch. And they're giggling. And Isabel's like, yeah, hey, this is my bitch. Stay away.
Oh
yeah.
God.
That much in 30 minutes?
This
Yeah.
is
And then
They
insane.
don't even catch a break and
No.
think about what's about to happen.
No. And then there's silence, which the lesbian couple love does not last very long, because when talking with the officers, Isabel already ratted Lois out. The police officer is even writing in his report, because usually when you have teenagers and they're best friends and they're trying to commit a crime, I would say that there's maybe, I want to say like 3 hours in which they might resist ratting each other out. But the police officer writes, Isabel abruptly stated that Lois helped her sharpen the knife. Isabel is explaining to the officers and the assistant principal that they were in the bathroom trying to sharpen the knife. And according to Isabel, they ran the knife back and forth along the metal pipe in the bathroom. And then they were trying to use the knife to cut Isabel's shirt to determine if it was sharp enough to do the crime. Lois then attempted to cut her stomach in an effort to see if the knife could cut her skin. Isabel stated that Lois told her that she didn't think the knife was going to be able to cut through because it couldn't cut her stomach. But it's not like Isabel really needs to quote-unquote rat out Lois when there's already quite a bit of digital evidence against both of them. Isabel's plan was to either slit John's throat or stab him in the stomach. There was no getaway plan. Then she was going to smoke a cigarette in the bathroom before going to jail and sprinkle flowers on his body or to his funeral. It's kind of unclear which one. But Isabel, the night before, had been messaging Lois over Discord saying things like, it's going to be over by tomorrow. If you have some gloves, bring them for me. Bring latex ones. I'm bringing a trash bag, wipes, and some other things. I'm gonna go away anyway. I have incriminating shit on my phone. Holy shit. I'm gonna make a blood ritual for Adam Lanza, LMAO. Everyone who prayed on my downfall is getting their wish. I hugged my parents extra tight today. I feel kind of bad for what's coming. He was at fault because he never got redacted to talk to me. If I had him, I wouldn't have been like this. Why? Why, John? Why? Why redacted? Why? I need to break my hard drive later. Do you have any extra white shirts that I could use? And the two of them are also, Isabel and Lois, are reportedly married on Facebook.
What?
Yeah, because you know how you can just like marry someone. But that's not the important part. The important part is their anniversary date is April 22nd, 1992, which is an oddly specific date. So I tried to figure it out, and it's not the date of Sandy Hook or Columbine. It's actually Adam Lanza's birthday. But in the back of the police car, Isabel is again ranting about how the police are treating her like she's this dangerous criminal. And she says,
Dude, they had me going out to the bathroom, and they had this lady standing in the stall, and they had like 2 other people.
In the stall?
No, not in the... Yeah, one of them was standing in the stall. The other 2 were outside waiting. You think I'm gonna be able to fucking run away?
so Isabel is making a joke at, I guess, her physique. I got too scared to ask them to go to the bathroom. I low-key still have to go. So, by the way, Lois Lippert kind of talks like this the entire time. And Isabel turns to her. I only went twice because they searched me every time and they made me take off my shoes and my socks off. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't ask them. I don't want to do all that. You gonna bend over and cough for me? Bend over and cough for you? Is that what they do? Yeah, they look at your asshole and see if anything comes out. Isabel complains at how uncomfortable it is to be in the back of the police car and states,
Dude, I should have done it in the morning.
so now she's saying in the back of this recorded police car that she should have killed him in the morning and not waited till after second period, because if she had done it in the morning, she would have been able to kill him. And Lois is like, yeah, dude, he was right there. I was following behind him.
What is happening?
Yeah. Isabel also talks about how when they were interviewing her, she kept laughing, even though it's not funny, but quote, they kept on saying 6'7". Oh, I laughed at 6'7", dude, because they were talking about my grades and stuff when it first started. And they were like, yeah, was the 6th or 7th grade? I did the 6'7" behind my back. So she's handcuffed and she said she's doing 6'7".
This is like, I don't even know what is happening.
Yeah. Lois finds this so funny and she says, "Stop making me laugh." Lois explains later that she did mention to one of her friends that Isabel might try to do something on Friday, which is vague, and she reassures Isabel she's probably thinking that you're gonna self-exit. "Oh, that's stupid. I'm not self-exiting." Then in a voice that would indicate maybe it's from a meme or something, but she says, "Killing yourself is for R words." She says the R word. "I'm not a stupid R word that gives up. Please."
Killing yourself is for retards. I'm not a stupid retard that gives up. Please. I guess I am retarded though.
I am R-worded though. Fuck. Lois tries to comfort her. "Not a stupid R-word though." Aw, thanks. One of the most damning pieces of evidence against Isabel is a journal entry that's written in the style of a bad movie plot where the killer fesses up to the murder, hides the note for it to be found by the main character at the end in the bottom of the underwear drawer. And it reads, "It was just like any other normal day. I swear nothing seemed off until I remembered him. Oh, John, how much I loved you. Today was finally the day. You're so worth it. Fuck. We were leaving second period. I grabbed him. I don't know what happened, but I just started talking. Oh, you're so beautiful. The cutest boy around. I loved him dearly. I would ruin my life for him, and that is very much what I was doing. I was able to get my hands on some chloroform. It knocked him out cold. It was absolutely perfect. I was already in the bathroom with him. He hadn't woken up yet, so I was just waiting. He was so small, so precious. I'd been waiting for this for a long time. Slowly, he woke up. I saw those beautiful eyes I much adored. Finally, up close, he was absolutely perfection. Hi, sweetheart, I said without thinking. He looked extremely disturbed. I don't blame him. Who wouldn't, LOL. He didn't speak, just looked in terror. I pulled the knife out of my bag and held it to his throat. I saw the fear. I saw his breath hitch. It gave me more adrenaline, and she spells adrenaline ADRENALYN. Adrenaline. I pulled my phone out and started recording him. Can you smile for the camera? I held the knife closer to his throat. I watched as he forced himself to smile just for me. And that is where she ends this weird, bizarre note. It's presented as if she wrote it after the fact in this dramatized narrative form.
Right, and the cop found the note.
Yeah, it's like fanfic.
Yeah. So the police found it and locked it.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, well, you wrote this note. You wrote one to your parents detailing your exact motive. And you had a lot of the supplies that you're talking about.
Yeah. So what is Lois's whole thing? Like, what's her motive? Does she have a motive? Does she even care? What is she doing there?
I think she doesn't care. I mean, I think she clearly is dealing with lots of mental health issues. And I'm not saying that as some sort of excuse because, yeah, so did I at 14. She seems more like the follower, though I don't really like to give those labels. But it's Isabel is the one with the plan. I think if anything, maybe Lois thought it would be cool that she would go down in notoriety. Or maybe she thought that Isabel would never go through with it. But if Lois was the one to be like, oh, well, you can't do that, then maybe she wouldn't be seen as cool by her TCC community. And again, this is not to diminish any of the impact that Lois Lippert had. It seems as if Isabel is the one more so spearheading this. She's the one with the very strong reasoning of why she felt she wanted to kill John. But I think it's also just as disgusting that Lois is like, oh, I'm doing it for the thrill and for the fun and like maybe I'll be known in the TCC community. Regardless, despicable. And I think one of the reasons that the investigators moved so fast on this tip was, well, it was their job. They had to. But also they've had problems with Isabel prior to this. In fact, the police were at Isabel's house Thursday night for something else.
The night before?
Yeah, the night before.
Okay.
Okay, so the night before, the police go to Isabel Valdez's house because she'd been trying to do these like swatting calls on people. There was like 3 different swatting incidents. I think she was trying to swat the school or swat an individual at the school. It's a little bit unclear because they're all minors, but there's swatting incidents. Just know that. She's like trying to get someone swatted. They come, they grab her phone. Now, Thursday night, they go back to her house and they're like, hey, we have your phone. We could get a warrant and there's like so much paperwork, or you could just sign this consent form. Let us go through your phone. So they sign the consent form. The police leave Thursday night. They get a tip in early hours of Friday morning. And then it's like the last few sentences are, oh, I think their name is Isabel.
So after the police took her phone,
yes,
she's on Discord messaging.
On her computer, yes.
On her computer,
yes,
messaging her friend, saying, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. She felt like she was already going to go away for the swatting incident. So she might as well do it now. Now is the only time that she can do this. Lois even mentioned to her that she's anxious planning and maybe she shouldn't go through with it, but Isabel was like, no, I'm gonna go through with it. And she even tells another friend about it Thursday night. I think she told, maybe it was just one, could have been more, but that one person does end up sending in that anonymous tip.
I mean, that tip really saved John's life.
Yeah. No, John's
Apparently.
mom has done an interview where she said the person, I mean, she knows who made the tip and she's spoken to that child and she says the child is her hero.
The hero of this story is the tipster. That person is the hero of my life story. And I've told them that.
Now, Isabel tells Lois in the car, in the back of the police car, I did write a note to my parents. Did you write one to your parents? Lois is like, no, you should have. They said I'm going to be able to contact my parents when I get there. Me too. I haven't talked to my parents yet. I don't know if my parents even know what's going on. They don't. They haven't contacted mine either. My mom's going to be yelling at me through the phone like, what are you going to do? Why are you trying to kill this fucking kid? Lois is like, I think my mom's going to be okay. I low-key think she's probably going to fuck with it. When they asked me, like, do you really want to lie? Would your parents really want you to lie for Jimmy? Yeah, they would. Yeah.
When they asked me, like, do you really want to lie? Would your parents really want you lying for Jamie? Like, yeah, they would. Like, yeah.
And then remember earlier in the car ride while they were role-playing Columbine, Isabel looked out the window, gets distracted by the building, and she says, hey, my sister goes to therapy there. Then she starts going on this like very bizarre trauma dump where she says, my mom's going to see the police car and she's going to be like, damn. And then when I call her, I'm going to be like, hey, mama, that was me in the police car. You see me? And she says, you know, my mom was telling me about this morning because she was talking about somebody. And then she was like, oh yeah, this girl I know, she got criminal charges because she hit somebody and drove away with her car. And she was like, don't get any criminal charges because that messes with your record. I'm sorry, mama. Lois is like, I might get criminal charges, I guess. Which like, it's okay. We get them together. Okay, yeah. Honestly, we're probably going to get a minimum of 4 years or so. And this is when Lois starts to get disgruntled because Lois is the accomplice, right? So she's like,
I'm not getting 4 years.
Yes, you are. You helped.
Dude, that was like, I'm not getting that. I'm not doing that.
Hey, by the time we're gonna be out, we could go to community college together.
yeah, I'm not going to go away for that long. Low-key, probably a good thing you didn't actually end up doing anything because imagine I actually did So it seems like Lois is very disgruntled about the idea of getting that many years.
Girl.
Later, the topic is approached again when Isabel says, my family isn't probably even going to visit me. Man, I don't even fucking care. I'll visit you. Isabel's confused. Huh? I'll visit you. Huh? I'll visit you when I'm out. Before you. Shut up. You're not getting out before me. How would I get a longer sentence than you? It's redacted, but contextually it feels like Isabel is bringing up the fact that Lois helped sharpen the knife and maybe they told somebody, I don't know. But Isabel is like, dude, they said that they were going to take photos in the bathroom as evidence, dude. Like, I don't know what they're going to fucking take, though. Like, it was the metal pipe. What are they supposed to take there?
Wait, so
Yeah.
do we know how many years they are possibly facing
Oh, yeah, like 20.
for both?
Yeah.
For both?
They're
It's-
treated the same?
Yeah, it's attempted murder, yeah.
So they both got the same charges?
yeah.
Wow.
For, are they
Tried as adults.
they're tried
As
as adults?
adults?
Oh,
And they were
wow.
denied bond or bail, yeah.
So this conversation was
Damn.
released. What about like any interrogation, any more police?
Not yet.
There's this I mean, these girls are clearly crazy, but there's something bothering me about this whole thing. Like, the kid didn't die. Thanks God. These are stupid children. Very disturbed, stupid children. But they're still children. Like, I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. But they're still kids. They're stupid. They need to be taken care of. Like, they need, but they're kids. They're kids. Trying them as adult. I personally don't think that's the right thing to do. You can tell that they did not fully fucking understand what the fuck they were doing. You can tell that their fucking their frontal lobe is not fully developed. You can tell that they're fucking kids. And because they're very, and I'm not saying that, oh, they're kids, they don't know what's right or wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. They know damn well what's right or wrong. They knew that, oh, we're gonna get arrested. But like the thing is, the way they were talking about it, I know that they didn't think it was gonna be, oh, it's not that deep. They have like this stupid, very stupid mentality. But because nobody died, to say life in prison at 16 is crazy to me. Attempted murder, yes. Bringing a weapon to school. Well, I don't know how it works in the United States regarding weapons, because yes, like all of those things are reprehensible, but to try them as adult, I I am sorry, but that doesn't sit right with me. Just because, and the only reason why is because nobody died. I feel like we are trying them as adult because of the what if, but we managed to stop them before that. They were stopped before the if happened, so the if didn't happen, and because of that, like, I just feel like because they're kids, to treat them as if they did it is not good. Um, like, I feel like there's a middle ground to be had here, basically, because I'm not saying they shouldn't go have any kind of punishment. That's not what I'm saying. This is not Korea. You know what I mean? But I still feel like we need a fucking middle ground. There's a difference between, like, in Korea, in Corée du Sud, si je me trompe pas. Yeah, Corée du Sud, like, where I think up until 16 years old, you don't actually have to pay for your fucking crime, which is crazy. And overpaying for your crime. And giving them life for not killing a kid is overpaying for their crime. And again, these are stupid ass kids. Absolutely delusional, dumb kids. Like, you can literally tell that they did not expect the action to have consequences. Ah! They did not expect their action to have consequences. You know that these are stupid children. So, yeah, I would really honestly feel like it's not good to treat them as if what they didn't do is what they did. That's my opinion. I don't expect a lot of people to agree with me, but I'm also Canadian, and I was also raised by a fucking parole officer. So, even if I'm not like the most forgiving person, there's still a part of me that's like, yeah, but technically speaking, jail is supposed to be for rehabilitation. You have to believe in rehabilitation in the just criminal justice system. You have to believe in rehabilitation. Otherwise, what is the point of jail? You should just shoot them. You know what I mean? But I don't think that rehabilitation is good if you send these kids to fucking spend most of their adult life in jail for one of the dumbest decisions of their fucking life. I also feel like, I don't know, there was like a study about how women will be punished harder than men for committing the same crime. I need to find that, where I read that somewhere. I don't know why. I feel like this is just overly. I feel like it's so intense for not killing someone. I'm so glad that the kid died. Because earlier, when I thought that the kid died, I was actually distraught. I was like, wait, I'm confused. So he died. And I was really, 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 really annoyed. Like, I can't believe that these two idiots actually pulled that off. But no, they didn't. Thanks God. So now, now what? I feel sorry for everybody involved. honestly. I feel sorry for the parents. I feel sorry for the school. I feel sorry for that poor guy who's probably gonna be traumatized regardless. Cause he like I cannot believe that these studios wanted me dead because I look like a fucking school shooter. Like, be for fucking real. Be for fucking real. Like, that would piss me off, personally speaking. Like, you were ready to sacrifice me for a face that I didn't ask. Like, I didn't even ask to be born, let alone to be born with a face that looks like a fucking mass shooter. But you were gonna like assassinate me over it because you're crazy? What the hell? So no, that's like really, really bad for him. But again, he did not die. And that has to be something that is taken into consideration. It literally does. Because these are still kids. They're still children. And I don't like the idea that we gonna punish them as if they're not.
I think that will probably be released later, because technically it's an open investigation. So it'll probably come out during the trial, and then if you were to FOIA request it, you'd probably get all of that after the investigation
But
is
they
over.
released this
Yes.
already.
Yes, because they showed it to the judge.
Oh.
Yes. This whole police tape was shown to the judge to be like, you cannot let them out on bail. And that's why it's allowed to be released to the public.
Interesting. I guess I'm really curious to know when is the moment that they realize.
And when they truly flip on each other.
Yeah, or truly realize. I wonder if it's gonna happen anytime soon.
It already seems like it because when they were in the court hearing, they are supposed to be separated. They're not supposed to have any contact with each other. The judge has already stated that. However, they won't even like look at each other. And maybe they won't look at each other because their attorneys were like, don't fucking look at each other. Or they don't like each other.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine, because these are very flimsy friendships that they formed on the basis of what? They're both dumb and idiotic.
Yeah.
And when they're talking about how at least they're not school shooters, because that would get them life in prison, Isabel asks Lois, almost nervously, well, how long am I going to get? I'm not going to get much time. And again, later Lois brings it up again, and I think Isabel doesn't like these mentions because Lois mentions, I'm probably not going to like, my involvement's not that long, so I'll be out before you. I'm probably not going to get life in jail because my parents are going to give me the best lawyers they can. And the police finally interject, and they ask,
This is the first time they jumped in?
Young lady, what's your name?
Which one?
Isabel Valdez.
Isabel what?
Valdez.
Okay. All right. And yours, young lady?
Lois Lippert.
It's very clear the officers are listening to everything. And I also think that asking for their names was a good idea. I don't know if it would fly in court, but it's a good idea in the sense of these kids can't later say, oh, I was in a fucking state of psychosis. This was like shared psychosis. We're losing our minds. It's like, tell me your name. Tell me your date of birth. Okay, you're clearly in somewhat of a right state of mind because the types of things they were saying, maybe a defense attorney would later say, yeah, they were role-playing Columbine. They were in a state of
No. You don't even need to say that. They were in a state of dumb fucking children. That's the sickness that they have. It's called dumb fucking kids. Like, I'm sure any child therapist would probably kind of like testify to somehow to that. It just makes me sad, honestly. It makes me sad for the young boy that nearly almost got fucking murdered over a stupid idea. And sad also for like, damn, I don't know why, honestly. I'm not 100% sure why I feel so bad for these girls, but there's a part of me that's just like, this really sucks. This really sucks. I wish they knew better. I feel bad for the parents and everybody. Like, it's a goddamn tragedy. Mm. Fucking tragedy.
psychosis.
Yeah. And the fact that in the middle of the conversation, he decided to ask for their name when he already has their name.
Of course, they're in the back of the police car.
Yeah.
They've been arrested. Yeah, he knows their names. Yeah.
Whoa.
So I think everything is very intentional at this point. And it's very clear he's listening to everything. Because at one point, Isabel, later on, Isabel is talking in depth about, I kind of need a fart. Lois is like, please don't. Dude, I just keep needing to take a shit over there. And I was so embarrassed because they kept on coming into the stall with me. And when I sat down, I felt like I had to shit. And I felt like it was going to come out because I had diarrhea. And I still have it. And then it's silence. And the officer butts in, don't mess up my seat, please. You'll be out here cleaning it up. Oh, no, thank you. So Isabel's like, okay, I'm not going to diarrhea. Oh, no, thank you.
Don't mess up my seat, please.
We get
Get you out here cleaning it up.
Oh, no, thank you.
Dude, I used to have to clean. This is Isabel. I used to have to clean up my siblings' shit because my mom would be sleeping and my sister would literally take off her diaper and she would put it all over her bed. Oh, dude, I think there was like a year or two that she was like, my mom was cooking or while she was doing something, she would take her diaper off and she would pee on her bed. She would literally spread her legs open on her bed and pee. Oh, your siblings are wildin'. I know. My brother keeps on humping everything now. My mom tells him to stop and he just keeps on doing it. And then he goes into my closet because I sleep with my sister. I think I told you, right? He goes into my closet and he puts on my sister's bathing suit. So I don't know. I think this seems like the point where some people feel there might be a lot more going on in Isabel's life, clearly, because both the girls seem to be struggling a lot mentally. Again, not that it's justification for anything, but these are very specific stories she's sharing. Then later, Lois mentions that she has to pee so bad, to which Isabel tells her that the police officers aren't going to let her use the restroom when they get to the police station, to which Lois is like,
Dude, I have to go to the bathroom. I pissed myself. They gotta clean that up.
and Isabel says, my mouth is right here. There's a lot of overtly sexual comments being made. Lois later again mentions, I did not expect them to let us go into the same car and shit. Can't complain. Yeah, I'm not complaining at all. So much better than having to stare off into the distance and think of all your regrets. And then Lois says, I'm actually going to piss myself. I can't laugh anymore. Yuck. It's bad. I've been holding it in for like an hour. You've been horny for an hour? No, Oh, is it because I'm here? Later, Lois is complaining about how her strap keeps hanging off her shoulder, and Isabel offers, I'll pull it up with my teeth.
I'll pull it up with my teeth.
Just their entire demeanor in the car is, it's going to be a defense attorney's nightmare. At one point, the both of them are talking about how the comfort level of this car ride compares to the last time they were in a police car. It's like they're giving it Uber car ride ratings. Isabel says, dude, last time, they didn't even put me in handcuffs. They just stuck me. They let me take my stuff, too. I was able to take some of my little ponies, my plush, and my phone, but then they took my phone away. They took all my stuff away because they were like, you can't have this in here. So I was like, okay, whatever. They're both charged with attempted murder and possessing a weapon on school property, and they will both be tried as adults. During their court hearing, they don't nearly look as giggly or as quirky as they did in the back of the police car. They were both present but separated during the hearing. Their parents were there. Lois's parents pleaded with the judge that if Lois is released out on bail, she would not be able to have any access to her electronics. She will be closely monitored. The prosecutors argue.
So did the parents get Lois the best attorney that she claim that they're going to get her?
Does not seem like it. I think probably the best that they could, but I don't think Lois's parents are pulling in Brian Steele, I don't think they're which is
but they are
odd.
in the same jail.
Yes.
Interesting. So they can talk to each other freely then?
No, they cannot.
Oh, they cannot.
Yeah, they're not allowed to be near each other. They're not allowed to communicate with one another.
I see.
Now, the prosecutors argued that the young ladies exhibit callous nature, sociopathic attitudes. They say that the concept of murdering another person to resurrect a school shooter is unfathomable. And they show the judge the police car footage to argue that they cannot be released out on bail. The judge states that their clear lack of remorse proved that they were a danger to society. She says,
I don't think there's anything that I could do that would keep the community safe. And it's clearly a dangerous crime. All the elements, I think, have been met. The video that I watched, they thought this was cute. I don't want her on the internet talking to other young folks about this. It's too dangerous.
And so for that reason, I think that there's a real risk to the community that I just can't fix. And both of them were denied bail.
Yeah,
Yeah, they would probably go back on Tumblr and Twitter and say a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
The 15-year-old boy's mother has done an interview, and she's asked,
to know that the allegations of two girls plotting, the allegations of them wanting to hurt and kill your baby, your son, as a mom.
Yeah, I was destroyed. I still am. It's never going to be the same. I've broken down a lot. I still break down at work.
by the way, she works at the school. So yeah, I mean, she says, I still haven't been sleeping well. I haven't been eating, and I've been waking up on alert, high alert, like 2-3 times a night. As for her son, she says, he's so brave. He's so brave and smart and talented. And the hero of the story is the tipster. And that person is the hero of my life. And I've told them that. If the tipster hadn't made that notification, do you think your son would still be alive?
I think that we would be in a very different now.
To make matters worse, like I said, she works in that school, and she walks by the school bathroom where Isabel and Lois allegedly planned on killing her son every day. Isabel has since written a letter to the judge, which reads, Dear Judge Chase, first of all, I want to say that I'm very remorseful for my actions. Being away from everything, isolated from people, the internet, just everything, changed my perspective on life. Growing up, I was exposed to the internet at a very young age, and all of that was bad that stemmed from it. The internet made me a horrible, horrible person. I was groomed and assaulted multiple times growing up by people my own age and people older than me. I've always denied anything happening because I've always felt like expressing this to anyone made me weak. Sometimes I still do. My own parents don't even know about it.
Tragic.
I was also bullied growing up very severely, that I had been wanting to self-exit since I was 7. I never expressed this feeling because I felt like others would not take me seriously since I was so young. I spoke out on the bullying, but no one paid attention to whatever I said. Even if my parents spoke out, my parents and my family tried to help me growing up, but I never accepted it for some reason. I don't know why, but I always thought that they were against me. I wanted help, but wouldn't accept it when it came. Later on, this just changed into thoughts of, quote, I could never be loved. My parents tried their hardest, and they wanted to give me a better life than they ever had. They're still trying their hardest, trying to get me home. Around the age of 10, I found joy in hurting those that hurt me, which I don't anymore. And around 12, I just enjoyed hurting others. But around 12, I fell into a very, very deep depression. She talks about how in 2024, she was getting better because she was placed on a psychiatric hold. And then in 2025, she relapsed, and quote, around the same time I had met Lois Lippert, my co-defendant, and we both got worse together. I ask and pray that you have sympathy and compassion on her. In 2022, 2023, I joined this group called TCC, which also had affected me greatly. This group, they all promoted violence. I felt seen there, but in reality, it was deteriorating me. I got groomed in this community. She explains that she joked around about killing John with Lois, but later, because they were both in such bad mental states, they thought it was okay. Now, to explain about John, I used to like him a lot because he reminded me of a shooter I liked, which I no longer do. I have multiple forms of anxiety, so I never spoke to him in fear of getting rejected. So I started following him around, which I'm deeply sorry about now. When I was detained, I started acting recklessly and edgy. I made everything worse than it was because I wanted help. I wanted to paint myself as more insane so I could be sent to some place where I could get help, but obviously it didn't work. As I've been here, I've been thinking about my life and my choices, and please ask you to please have sympathy on me, for I want to change, and I'm changing as a person. I'm not the same girl I was 3 months ago. I think it's a very conflicting feeling because a lot of netizens feel that at 15, you definitely know better.
Of
I
course
mean,
you
I
know
think a lot
better,
of us can
but
think back to when we were 15.
I don't think that's the point. I don't think it's, oh, did she know that murder was bad? I think it's more like, what drove a fucking 15 years old to this level of depravity? Obviously, she doesn't have the best life at home. Obviously. I feel like of the two, she's the one that is the most far gone. The other one is clearly a stupid follower who didn't realize the impact of her action. Like, she really, like, she's the delusional follower. Lois, I think her name is. Absolutely delusional. Absolutely delusional. She clearly didn't realize how bad this could get. Like, oh, I thought they were gonna send me to the psych ward, girl. And that's also very sad and telling in a way because, like, was this the only way that you thought you could end up in a psych ward? Because I don't know. I don't know how easy it is to be sent to a psych ward. in the United States. I know that back when I was in a crisis, I mean, a mental health crisis, it was not that easy for me to get taken anywhere. Good thing I'm still here, bitch. So I wonder if this was just not like a way to bypass all the fucking waiting time that exists to get help. Uh, uh you know, some sort of like lifeline, like, hey, at least now I'm gonna get the help that I need, type shit. Which again, absolutely insane, ridiculous, irrational. Well, irrational. Probably rational in the mind of a 15 years old, but in the mind of my 30 years old ass, it's like, girl, you know? Back when I needed help, I never thought, maybe if I try to murder somebody, I'm finally gonna be sent up sackward. No. I thought about it. What if I hurt myself? Then I'm finally gonna be sent up sackward. That's called suicidal ideation. But they were directed at me, not the general public. And not for stupid reason like bringing somebody back from the dead. A mass shooter at that, who killed children. A pedophile.
15 and none of us had any sort of glorification of school shooters wanting to resurrect somebody from the dead, let alone Adam Lanza of all people, and then trying to kill a classmate, bringing a knife to school. Like, these are all very extreme thoughts, but I guess people are open to perhaps listening to Isabel's life story, but they also don't think that that's any excuse.
It's not.
It's just a way to understand her actions and hopefully prevent other kids from going through the same experiences and acting out in the same way. And I don't mean to say acting out to diminish the gravity of what they were planning on doing, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the tipster also saved their lives.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So,
You know?
yeah.
Well, yes.
And I do think
that's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't do it. The tipster saved their life as well for committing a fucking murder, because that would have been worse. But they didn't commit murder. They were stopped. And so they're not murderers. Literally, like, you can never call them murderers because they didn't murder anybody. And that is a good thing. That is a good thing. And I feel like that is something that needs to be taken into consideration. They didn't kill anybody.
Netizens have an annoyance with this and the letter in general and any sympathy towards the two girls, because it's almost become this weird thing where people in the TCC community think that being bullied is an excuse to kill people. Like, it gives you sympathy points. And it's like, do you know how many people have been bullied growing up?
Exactly.
It doesn't give you the right to make grave, quote unquote, mistakes in the form of taking someone else's life. So it's like, yes, okay, maybe she had a rough life, but she was also planning on killing an innocent classmate who did nothing wrong. Not that even that would warrant anything, but just because he looked like someone that she idolizes, that is a vile person to begin with.
Yeah.
So I think that there's this pushback of people being like, no, you know, I was bullied. I'm not fucking going around trying to resurrect people. That is where the case is right now, with netizens commenting, what the fuck? How did they even come up with this? Others are commenting, the conversation in the back of the car is so casual. Others are saying they're laughing as a defense mechanism for being arrested. They're coping with it by laughing it off. It's likely how they respond to any other situation in which they're caught for doing anything else that's wrong, or when they're being laughed at themselves or being excluded, humiliated, bullied, whatever. As a teacher, I recognize the same behavior in students who know that they're going to bomb a test or don't do their homework or otherwise get called out. They'll announce it loudly, like, man, I'm about to fail. This test's so bad, or something like that. It's all about saving face, and the behavior becomes so ingrained that it becomes the default. They can't be seen to ever take anything seriously about anything that others take seriously, because it's the only way for them to win in so many situations that they repeatedly lose. I don't say this as an excuse for them, but yeah, I totally recognize those laughs. And others say they always laugh when they first get caught, but then they cry when the guilty verdict is read out. Others are just commenting, yeah, these kids definitely grew up on Discord. Others are saying, you dropped your crown, queen, and it's just like a dumpster lid. Always the weird looking ones. These are comments. Anyone who works in, near, or is friends with someone in schools understands this is not shocking. And about her Sandy Hook obsession, one person writes, what a weird obsession. I mean, you could have done something productive with your passion, like volunteer to help those affected by gun violence, but instead you did this? Shame on you. Others are upset about Fox Fever, saying, I refuse to believe she's Fox Fever. I love their art so much.
She's famous.
In the community that loves 0 Day. And then another comment states, she suffered from extreme mental illnesses. All the adults in her life failed her. She had a Twitter account dedicated to having an ED where she would post pictures of her throwing up into the toilet bowl after. Like, I feel bad. Others say, I'm not even mad. I'm sad these girls need help badly. How did they even get to this point mentally without someone intervening is heartbreaking. Heartbreak emoji.
I'm both mad and sad. Like, I'm mad that we got to that point, and I'm sad that we got to that point. Like, where do we go from here, bitch? Oh. Alright, so that was another attempt at a rainbow. I tried. It's not giving exactly what I wanted to give, but hey, could be worse, I guess. You know? It's definitely not giving what I wanted it to give, though. But it's not ugly. I could go to Pride Parade like that. Anyway, I think this video is almost over, so let's finish it so I can move on with my life.
You can tell they have no idea the big picture of what they just did. Others are on the complete opposite side, writing death penalty to these ugly weirdos.
No,
just a bit extreme. Another one writes, they're teenagers, their brains aren't fully formed, and they'll just go along with just about anything to fit in. My guess is one of them had deep-seated issues and mostly pushed the idea forward, and the other one has issues of her own, but just mainly went along with it. To which someone responds, okay, but they still sound way less sane than most teenagers.
Well, duh.
But also, there's just really alarming comments, like, about the girls who wanted to kill that boy to revive Adam. If I saw a dude who looked just like Adam, I'd want to date him. Like, no need to kill him, for real.
Okay.
So that is where I leave you with this case. I will let you know if there's any updates with any of the future court hearings and the pending trial if they plead not guilty, or if they're not going to get a plea deal. What are your thoughts on this case? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Oh.
First name Neil, last name Quintana, Neil Quintana.
How much time do we got left? That's fucking 40 minutes. It's like...
Thank you.
This is one that
Hey Brittany, do you know where Rebecca is?
No. I'm gonna go stand out here.
you guys need to turn it down more.
Sorry, no. Mine's already.
Isabel? Yeah. You do me a favor, you gotta stand up, put your hands behind your back. Just gonna tighten these just a little bit, okay? Don't move. You start pushing your hands, they'll get real tight on you. Okay, so just leave your hands to You alright?
Yeah.
You need me to loosen it, Hannah? Which one?
No, it's okay. It's just I gotta like stab the back of the thing.
Okay. Alright. Just come on out this way.
I think we're going down.
Out this way?
Yeah,
Towards
because that way it gets you out to the.
Okay, so we're waiting for the other guy. I'm just going to bring them both at the same time.
Have they explained what's going on?
He's coming? Alright.
Have they explained to you? So unfortunately, you are under arrest. You're being charged with attempted first-degree murder. Okay? And that's premeditated. You're gonna be transported to jail, and then you'll be able to get in contact with your parents there, okay? But we are gonna call your parents to let them know what's going on. Yeah. Okay? All right.
First stuff's evidence. Okay. Let's take. We're gonna head out.
Yeah, but we're just
Just waiting for. Look, you got it. You gonna do the same time? Are they different cars or same car? Same car. Okay. From this way. You have a walk out from both. Close the door. Sit on the other side. Close the door. Thank you.
I assume you need me to come with you.
What's that?
You need me to come with you.
I don't think so. We got the. Danish, for the second on? Yeah.
For a search or not?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We gotta kiss her? Yes.
Teacher, we're good.
I do believe that. I do believe that prison is definitely gonna help them because it's gonna be like, and I'm saying for the fact that they're gonna be away from each other, but also away from internet, from smartphone, from all these outside things that would probably trigger them to act the way they act. So I think that they need that. Yeah, they definitely need that because there's no going back from that. There's no going back.
Because you're getting back in the car and you have to search you again. Do you have anything hidden on you that may have been missed? Look. Okay. If they find something that's hidden that we don't find, you will get an extra charge at the jail. So this is your time to come, okay?
To the bill? 4 minutes.
Oh, sorry. You're fine.
Wait, don't I have? I have an orange somewhere, like a true orange.
Hey, once we at least get them in the car, we'll go back and get their bags.
Do you mean you stand by here with you while you guys grab the bag?
Church said it's evidence.
Oh, the bags are.
Oh, they're taking the bags as evidence?
He said hers. Bags are evidence.
Both of them? So they don't need their book bags.
All right. Have a seat.
Oh my god, bro.
Salad. Okay. Yeah. 2 minutes report-wise, just transport. Okay.
Where is it?
99% sure, at least on the top of the church. There's a narrative that's in it right now, but it's just the first contact. It's all the telling. You got the salary port info? Like the website?
On my computer.
Yeah. Can you start working on that?
Yeah.
Is that finished?
And they're both in the report already.
Oh wait, those are good highlights.
Surcharge. The second one.
Yeah. You gotta talk to church about that.
We'll get my laptop and come back down.
Okay. As soon as it's over.
Okay, I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are.
have been missed?
Yeah, that's gonna do.
Something that's hidden that we don't find, you will get an extra certificate. So this is your time to contact, okay?
Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
Hey, once we at least get them in the car, we'll go back and get their bags. That's fine. And the guy can stay with us on here, we'll do it.
Church said it's that.
Oh, they're taking the bags as evidence?
Yeah, so yeah, bags are evidence.
Oh, okay.
So you guys can go ahead.
So they don't need their book bags.
Alright, have a seat.
Wait, okay.
Here, Chelsea.
If there is something we miss and they find it in the jail, it'll be an extra charge, okay?
Lois.
We'll do, salad.
Okay, perfect. Report-wise, is this
It's trade student transport.
okay?
I'm 99% sure, at least, let me talk to church. There's a narrative that's in it right now, but it's just the first contact.
So I'll just tell them it's just
Excuse me?
transport. Okay.
You got the
Excuse me?
support info?
Can you put my shirt
Website?
down? Okay. It's
Right
like,
here.
it's
You
not,
start
yeah,
working on
it's a
that?
comfortable.
Is that better?
Yeah.
And they're,
I need something
Good?
warm.
All right, and have a seat, please.
Are we gonna be in the same one?
What do you mean, same one?
Same jail?
Yeah. Go ahead. Alrighty.
I know they asked me for his phone passcode.
Wait, they went through his phone?
No, they're going to go through his phone. He's gonna be. Oh my god. Yeah.
This is like amazing, but not. Wait, why is it?
Yes, I told him he knew. He didn't report me. I told him already. He did a tip?
There was a tip shown. Did you not see it?
No?
Someone tipped.
He fucking snitched.
I don't get why I wouldn't tell the police that he did a tip though.
Huh?
Yeah.
Did a tip though. Because it was anonymous tip, but I was just assuming the writing.
Yeah.
Just like
it was.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god. God, I knew I shouldn't have told him. Because he was like, oh, can you please tell me I can't sleep tonight? Fuck you! God!
Oh. Yeah, I got shown the tip and it was like, my friend, 15-year-old, named, he goes by Jimmy, is planning to kill some dude. Yeah, and it was like, I don't really remember their real name, but I think it was Isabel. Yeah, it was spelled wrong too, so.
God! She's such a fucking snitch.
That's immediately what I thought when I saw that fucking tip, yeah.
8798.
So stupid. Sweaty.
It's so cold in that room.
Which, I know. Dude, they had me sitting there and I was so... Dude, they took away my chocolate.
No!
I was able to eat, like, a part of it, like a part of the big bar.
Oh, okay.
But then that's it.
Damn it. Bro, I wanted to come back to second period so I could have, like, nibbled on some with you. I was like, this was my main goal. Because, like, they spent, like, an hour at the beginning just, like, trying to, their real name, man, like, at all. Dude, they pulled up the security cameras and stuff, and they got to see us walking out.
Saw.
Yeah. That was the first time I've ever seen this. I wanted to see so much more. I was like, whoa, look, I'm on the cameras there. It was so cool. I was like, damn. I forget that there's just, like, videos.
Yeah.
Like that.
I like the little lyric. Hey! Except, not a school shooting, at least.
We'd be in prison for life.
Yeah. Well, how long are we gonna get?
I'm probably not gonna get that much time.
Okay, I'm assuming that the mute is to like protect some identity.
Gosh. Ow. I moved my ants. Ow.
These are lucky more
Don't
comfortable
move
than
your
the
wrist.
last.
It'll make it hurt. You gotta keep it still.
These are more
I'm too
comfortable
fat
than
to stay still. God.
These are more comfortable than the last car I was in. Police car. I had my things behind my back, but like they had it like really bad and shit. I had to like go into like crazy positions to feel like comfortable, and it was an hour-long car ride.
Dude, last time they didn't even put me in handcuffs. They just took me. And they let me take my stuff too. I was able to take like some of my little ponies, my plush, and my phone.
Oh.
But then they took my phone away. They took all of my stuff away. Because they were like, you can't have this in there. So I was like, okay, whatever.
I wasn't giving. I don't think I had anything on me, but I got my shirt taken away. Because I think it like went off the sleeve a little bit. And I guess that wasn't allowed.
Ooh.
Promiscuous.
We're gonna become one of those lesbian couples now in jail.
Yeah, and you could be the butch.
Yes. Hey, this is my bitch. Stay away.
Yeah.
Ooh, you trying to look good for your mugshot?
Oh shit, am I gonna get a mugshot?
What, we're going to jail? What do you think?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, I was gonna do my makeup this morning for the mugshot, but I couldn't find anything.
I'm glad I don't actually look too bad today.
I look horrible. It's over.
And don't worry, you don't need to, don't worry, you're the butch. It doesn't matter if you look good.
Hey, at least they were gonna see me some way or another in the mugshot. Dude, we were supposed to spread our story around the TCC though. Hey! Oh, these are two stupid retards from Florida that couldn't do.
No, do not put me in there. This was out. You did not work.
So over for you, little boy. Oh,
dude, I was thinking like, well, I had time to think after just like I was like I don't know how they're gonna like imagine being pulled down. Yeah, some girl is planning to kill you. Like he's probably gonna be like he's gotta be told like you can't. They can't just.
I wrote him a note. And I was like, yeah, I'm not guilty for my actions, but, no, I was like, I don't feel guilty for my actions, but I feel guilty on how you were going to feel. Because honestly, I don't fucking care. No, because... But, like, I should at least try. But I did write a note to my parents. Did they you write one? You should have asked.
They said they'd be able to contact my parents when we get there.
Me too.
I haven't talked to my parents yet. I don't even know if my parents know what's going on.
They don't. They haven't called mine either.
Well, at least that's...
My mom's gonna be yelling at me through the phone. What are you doing? Why are you trying to kill this fucking kid?
I think my mom's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Loki, she's probably fucking with like when they asked me like, do you really want to lie? Would your parents really want you lying for Jamie? Like, yeah, they would. Like, yeah.
Dude, they made me swear to tell the truth. Hey, look.
Damn, I could put some highlight on my collarbones too. But no, I think that's pretty good.
At least we're here together now, because I shot in that fucking... Also, another car behind us.
Huh?
Another police car behind us.
Of course. Not that dangerous. What am I supposed... Dude, they had me going out to the bathroom, and they had this lady standing in the stall, and they had like 2 other people.
In the stall?
No, not in the... Yeah, one of them was standing in the stall. The other 2 were outside waiting. You think I'm gonna be able to fucking run away?
I got too scared to ask to go to the bathroom. I love you still have to go.
I only went like twice because they search me every time and they make me take my shoes and my socks off.
I'm glad I didn't ask them. I don't want to do all that.
You gonna bend over and cough for me?
Bend over and cough for you?
Yeah, that's what. Or
is that what they do at a?
Yeah, and they look at your asshole and see if anything comes out.
Oh my god. Stubborn ass hair.
Wait, did they do that to you?
I don't know. I haven't gone to jail.
Oh, jail, dude. I thought you meant at the...
This is good, you know.
Oh,
Anyway.
or something.
Anywho, wow. Riveting. Disappointing. Sad. The only thing left to do is my lashes, but I want to move on. I want to eat something, and I'm gonna probably come back later for some video game. I don't know yet. I guess we're gonna see. Bro. As far as this case is concerned, as far as this case is concerned, I generally hope that they will not be given life. I think that just the fact that they've been in jail this whole time. I pulled Sargak on my F3 Dupree. Did you get the new heroes? Ryzen, I posted what I got in my Discord. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So like, I really hope they won't get live, because the fact that even they've been in jail this whole time, and I feel like just this small amount of time in jail is probably cleaning their fucking system. Like, it'll probably already change their outlook. It probably make them realize a bunch of shit, as mentioned in the letter that was sent to the judge. And I'm not saying that should be enough, but I'm saying, like, already you can see, like, I just know that being away from their family, their social media, and their smartphone is already probably doing a lot in terms of, rehabilitation. So I really don't think that giving life to these two stupid ass kids is gonna help or do anything good. But they do need to pay for what they were planning on doing. But since nobody died, and these are very stupid young girls who did not understand, like, they did not fully understand what the fuck they were gonna get themselves into. That requires a bit of mercy. They're just fucking dumb. But I don't think they deserve life in prison. Nobody died. Thanks to the tip. And so that's that. Very, very sad shit that we're hearing. Oh, Lord. This world is going to shit. But that's it for this Get Ready With Me. I'm gonna clean up the fucking highlighter that I just dropped everywhere on my desk. And I'm gonna eat something, and I'm gonna move on with my life. Alright.